Alright guys, check this out. I found this bad boy today on the side of the road when I was taking my dog for a walk. And I'm guessing it ran out of fluid on the previous owner. And they just chucked it out the car window. I love finding lighters, whether it's a Bic or, as I refer to these, cheapo lighters. That's what I call these, cheapo lighters. I love finding empty lighters because I happen to refill them. So I'm going to show you how to refill this lighter today. All you need is a blade of some sort or a knife. You know, a knife like this will work too, but preferably something smaller. And what you want to do first is remove this top piece, bend it out there, take it off, lay it to the side. Now, second, you want to take and you want to pry gently up on both sides of this, back and forth on each side until it pops up. Now be gentle, because if not, you will break the little valve piece there. You don't want to do that. Now, second, you want to put your blade in between that crack there, and be careful when you do take this off, because you'll lose this piece if you're not paying attention. But anyway, you just get in that crack and you work it back and forth. Okay, we are going to, this one's a little harder than most, so I'm going to use a bigger knife. But you just get in that crack, work it back and forth. Same thing over here, work it back and forth. And once you get it like that, you can take it and just pop it off. And remember, careful not to lose that piece there. Now we're going to set that to the side. And now, to refill it, you want to loosen this piece here up. And even though the lighters are empty, they should still be a little hiss in here. You want to loosen it up until you hear that hiss. That last little tiny bit of fluid left in there. Well, right there. There it went. That's the last of it. Now, you want to, when you hear that hiss, you want to tighten it just a tiny bit back up. You want to loosen it until you hear that hiss, and let that last little bit out, and then you want to tighten it just a tiny bit back up. Because what you got to do here is, you got to put your blade here in this groove. There's a groove here. Okay? And you got to put your blade in that groove. Take your can of butane. Simultaneously, as you push up on this valve, you want to push down on your can. And just so happens the can of butane fits over that valve perfect. At least the kind that I use. So we're going to push up on the blade, which is going to push up on the valve stem, and we're going to push down on the can of butane at the same time. And I can feel the lighter on the inside getting colder as it fills it up. So it feels about full right there. Let's check it. Check it with the light. Okay. I don't know if you can see that there, but we're almost up there. Might help if I just take and let a little tiny bit of that pressure off. Now, push up, push down, same time. Alright. Check it. it helps at any time through the process where the lighter just don't want to fill up anymore, but it's not all the way full. If you just let a little bit of pressure off and then hit it again. And that's a lot better. That's us. I think another problem I'm having is this can here, it's just about out, and so there's not a lot of pressure on it. And if that would have been a full can of butane, it would easily pump it, pumped it full. Now you want to tighten this back down until it's just getting snug. You don't want to, you don't want to over tighten it, just where it's snug. And you take this piece here, and don't forget this little tiny piece here. Put it back in there. Put that back on. Push this back down on here. Push that back down in there. Now here's where you want to test it before you put your top piece back on. You want to test it to see. See, that's too high. It's too big of a flame. So some of them you have to re-lift this thing up, but this one here I believe has enough room to where I can just slide it over and adjust it. Okay, yeah. And I think that's about where I want my maximum flame to be. See, adjust it up and down. Okay, now this top don't actually belong to this lighter, because when I found this lighter it was just like this. Didn't have the top on it. I took this top off of a lighter similar to this one, and they are different kind of cheapo lighters. I call these ones cheapo lighters. So this top ain't really for this type of cheapo lighter, but you gotta have a top on them, or else it'll melt this plastic when you're lighting it. So this one will work for us. Just not a perfect fit, but it'll work. You want to overbend it, about like that. That way when you put it on, it's going to hold itself on really snug. So put that sucker on there. As you can see, it's not a perfect fit, but it's going to work for us. Turn that flame down just a little. Perfect. And there you go. That's how you refill a cheapo lighter. They're a whole lot easier to refill than a Bic. I refill Bics too. If you want to learn how to refill a Bic, I have another video on that. I actually just replaced the flint in this one here as well, and I also have a video on how to replace the flint in these lighters. Replacing the flint is the same for both lighters, but refilling a Bic lighter is a lot different than refilling a cheapo lighter. I like the cheapo lighters because they're a lot easier to refill, a lot quicker to refill, but the flints in them go out a lot quicker, and you got to change them a lot more. But yeah, that's how I refill cheapo lighter. You might want to use something other than a razor blade. A small knife will do. And the reason for that is because that's pretty much what happens when you use razor blades inappropriately. So, might want to use a smaller knife or whatnot, but I hope you enjoyed the video and hope it comes in handy for you.